I'm so excited to do this video. I want to share with you my favorite uses for another one of nature's superfoods. In this case, apple cider vinegar. Now before you run out and buy the first bottle of ACV you can find, that's what I'm going to call it because I can't just keep saying apple cider vinegar the entire video. Make sure that it has the mother. That basically means that your vinegar is raw and unpasteurized, so it's in its most organic form, and you can really take advantage of the benefits that way. So vinegar is essentially the next step after alcohol in the fermentation process. So the mother combines with oxygen from the air to turn alcohol into acetic acid. And acetic acid is super duper awesome, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Number one amazing use for apple cider vinegar. You can use it to improve your complexion. I actually use this day and night as a facial toner or an astringent. And before you freak out about the smell, do not worry. The formula I actually use is 1/3 part apple cider vinegar, 1/3 part water, and 1/3 part rose water. So I mix them all up and I put it in this nice little spray bottle, spray it on a little cotton pad, and then apply it all over my face. So ACV has a lot of awesome acids in it that basically act to remove dead skin cells and reveal the fresh, new, soft, beautiful skin underneath. So essentially it's exfoliating your skin, and you can totally feel it after a few uses. If you've seen my coconut oil video, you probably are going to think that I sound like a broken record. But apple cider vinegar has an acid called malic acid in it, and it basically has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral properties, and those help just prevent acne and keep your skin nice and clean, nice and clear. What it's essentially doing by removing all of those dead skin cells is unblocking your pores so that they can breathe. For those of us who put a bunch of gunk on our faces, that's a huge plus. Another thing about apple cider vinegar is that it has a very similar pH to the pH of our skin, or where it should be. So if you apply it topically and your pH levels are just going crazy, it actually helps to balance them out. If you're producing too much oil, it dials it back a notch. And if you're not producing enough, it helps you out in that area too. Now for eyes, I don't know if any of you know what it's like to struggle with sensitive eyes, but my boyfriend, my fiance, he has always suffered a lot with his eyes, and doctors just told him that he was extra sensitive to pollutants in the air and had allergies. But basically the pores on his eyes would get blocked, and then it would cause his eyes to become really red and inflamed. I had finally gotten him on board with the crazy toner, and one night he just decided to take the cotton pad and run it along his eyes, and he really got into all the little crevices between his eyelashes, and guess what happened? The next morning his eyes were totally normal, not inflamed, not red. It was honestly like a miracle. So yeah, now he uses it religiously. It has become a total essential for him. Little disclaimer here, apple cider vinegar is extremely strong, so you do need to dilute it if you're going to use it on your skin, especially if it's going to be there for extended periods of time, like overnight. But guess what that means? If you're trying to burn something off, you can use apple cider vinegar. Okay, proceed with caution. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just going to speak from personal experience. But a few months ago, I developed this very strange rash, like right here under my bra. And whatever it was, it just wasn't getting enough time to heal or go away because my bra just kept on irritating it and spreading it. So anyway, I was really frustrated, and I had seen a long time ago, I think it was like a blog post, or maybe it was even a video. Anyway, this guy had a mole, and he had actually burned it off with apple cider vinegar. So what he did was soak a cotton ball, put it on his mole, and tape it down, right? And he did this for a series of weeks, I think, every single night. But it would only, be going on during the 8 hours that he was asleep. And the guy actually burnt his mole off completely. And he was like worried that it was cancerous, so he totally eliminated it. And I figured, you know what, if he can burn off an entire mole, maybe I can burn off a rash. So I did the same thing. I would soak a piece of cotton at night in apple cider vinegar straight, and then put a little bit of tape over it and sleep for 8 hours. Actually, usually I sleep about 6 hours, which is very unfortunate. And it totally healed in a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks. But I will say it did hurt a little bit. It kind of felt like it turned the rash into a scratch, or like a kind of a deeper scrape, and then it turned the scrape into a scab, and then the scab just healed. But anyway, how crazy is that? So my other favorite use for apple cider vinegar is to get a little bit of an energy boost every morning. You know how sometimes you wake up and you just feel a little off? Yeah, that happens to me, and I'm a huge coffee lover, but sometimes my tongue and my stomach disagree, so I'll be like, ooh, a little coffee sounds really good, and my stomach's like, no, it really doesn't. If I'm having one of those days, I love preparing myself my ACV cocktail. Make sure to shake it up every time. By the way, I don't think I talked about that, but the mother is kind of a sediment that falls down and collects at the bottom, so you always want to shake it up whenever you're using it. So I shake it up, pour a full tablespoon into a cup, then I take a heaping tablespoon of honey, and then I add warm water, as much as I want to drink. And honestly, it's not unpleasant. It's a kind of an acquired taste, I guess, but I really do enjoy it. Not as much as coffee, obviously, but it's pleasant in a way. You can feel like the antiviral and antibacterial qualities just work in their magic, and all of a sudden you just feel right. I also like taking some of my magic potion at night when I totally ate too much or ate too late and I don't want to feel like I'm going to sleep on top of a bowling ball. Apparently there are tons of enzymes in the apple cider vinegar that break down food and help stimulate your digestive system, so by the time you go to bed, you feel light and generally proud of yourself for making amazing decisions in life. Guys, there are so many other uses for apple cider vinegar, but I honestly feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. And thank you guys so much for watching. I wanted to throw this in at the very end because I'm kind of excited. Just wanted to thank all of you that have subscribed to my channel. I really love doing DIYs and tutorials, and I have achieved the 15,000 mark, which apparently is a big deal to Google because they actually gave me a call and congratulated me and gave me some tips on like doing better and posting more consistently. So I'm kind of excited about that, and I'm just happy that you guys are a part of this process and that you're liking the content I'm putting out. So thank you so much. I have never ever asked anyone to subscribe to me, but if you like what I do, I would love it if you did. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you very soon. Bye guys. Did I shave my armpits?